everyone. Let's start off with the discussion of the current affairs section, also known as the RC section these days. So, basically there were 28 questions and very similar to the last year, and out of these 28 questions there were 17 that were factual and 11 which were RC based. So we'll start off with the first passage, sir, Olympics.
Now this particular passage on Olympics, they asked questions which a few of them could be derived from the set that was given to you, and though we expected better questions to actually come from the Olympics section, but anyways, I mean, what we have in front of us are very, very basic questions, and I think one should have got all rights in this. If anyone has seen any of a YouTube video on the Olympics section, I think this thing was pretty well covered, and we've also covered this in the classes. Now, if you look at the first one, India won a back-to-back Olympics hockey medal. So this was, the answer would be none of these for this. We won the Olympics, the 2020, I mean, we got a bronze medal in that. And similarly this year, at the Paris Olympics, we got a bronze medal. And just to give you a little background about the Olympics, we have won 8 golds in hockey Olympics in men's, and 6 of them were back-to-back, starting from 1928, and it was back-to-back 6 golds. And the last hockey gold that we won was in 1980. After that, the first bronze medal was at the Tokyo Olympics, and then it was at the Paris Olympics, right? So that was question number 1. The second question is asking you about, according to the passage, what is a peculiarity of the Paris Olympics? Now, if you, again, this question could have been done by just going through the passage. Number 1, COVID has ended, so it is a kind of an inference from there that international post-pandemic shift. The second one is the opening ceremony took place for the first time outside, which was Seine River, where the opening ceremony happened. And it's one of the most elaborate cultural rituals. Now, it's a very if you look at option number A and C, they're very subjective, which could be analyzed from the passage itself. And B is where you have to use some kind of an outside knowledge. You should know about it because it was done in Seine River. So the answer for this would be D. In fact, if you know that A and C are right, even if you don't know that it was organized, on the Seine River, you could have still got D right, because 2 of the options are subjectively correct, right? So answer would be D for this, right? And this was the 33rd edition of the Olympics. The next one is, which of the following supports the geopolitical background? Now, geopolitical backdrop. Now, Priyanka, can you just explain what geopolitical backdrop is? Because this is the key word here, and that's the reason the answer to this would be option number A. So, understanding the meaning of geopolitical is important, because it's not about the political stability of French government. There is a problem because there was EU elections. So, in a way, C is correct, but it doesn't fit into the geopolitical backdrop thing. Even the immigration issue in UK, in Europe, is an issue, right? But it won't fall in the category of the geopolitical background. So can you just explain what geopolitics is?
Yeah, sure, sir. So geopolitics in very, very simple language, if our neighbors were not China and Pakistan, and they were maybe Israel and Iran, our politics, our entire polity would be extremely different from what it is right now. So because of your geography, because of your neighboring countries, your polity or the structure of your government or the functions of your government differ. So that is what this question was asking about, and also the answer is very much there in the passage. So I think you should have got this correct.
Yeah. The next one, please. The question is asking, which of the following is true? Now, again, a very subjective type of question. Better, it is less of GK and more of reading comprehension here. The Tokyo Olympics was better than Beijing Olympics. Spectators thronged for a post-COVID. Again, it could be just inferred from the passage here. And because of whatever geopolitical issue that's happening. Therefore, it was unaffected by conflicts in a region. Therefore, the answer to this would be all of the above. Again, so I won't call it a GK question here. It is more of a reading comprehension question, right? The next one now. The highest Olympic medal tally for India was in the Tokyo Olympics, where we won 7, right? And that's also the Olympics in which we got our first gold medal in athletics, in which Neeraj Chopra got a gold in javelin, right? And this wasn't the first gold that India has won. India has won a gold in 2008 when Abhinav Bindra got a gold in shooting, right? So this one is, again, we got 7 medals in the Tokyo Olympics, right? And this time was 6. So our best was last time. Where is the opening ceremony of, so this is a Seine river, right? So this is the second longest river of France where the opening ceremony was held, right? So again, not a very difficult question. So I would just put this in a very easy category. Olympics was something that, we have been doing this in sessions, multiple sessions, and this was one of the most basic questions that could be asked there, right? In fact, I expected them to ask in Olympics about Manu Bakar winning, about about Fogart, about the Swapnil, winning a bronze in the shooting. So they didn't ask any questions with respect to who were the medal winners. Even Paralympics was completely ignored. I mean, we got 18th ranking in that with 28 medals, but that was completely ignored in that, right? So this is, so I would say, as far as the first passage goes about Olympics, a very, very basic passage, which in terms of a difficulty level out of 5, I would just put it at 1 out of 5 in terms of difficulty level, and you should have got all of them right. Yeah. Okay. Next is BRICS. Again, very basic questions that were asked, and most of the questions could be interpreted from the passage itself. We know that the 16th BRICS summit happened in Kazan in Russia. The last time 15th BRICS summit was in South Africa. And but again, the kind of questions that were asked were absolutely pathetic questions. So the 16th BRICS summit, number one, they, if you look at it again, what were the issues that we discussed? One was, there was definitely a dialogue between India and China because we tried to resolve the border issues with them. So C is definitely right. We are talking about BRICS currency now. So that was again discussed. And B is something that is a global phenomena, or everyone is talking about it, that how do we de-escalate the tensions which is between Russia and Ukraine because of the war. So answer would be D in this case, right? So again, more of a reading comprehension question and not typically a knowledge testing question. Now, I mean, we have really moved beyond BRICS and we're discussing about 5 new members that have joined, Argentina not joining, 5 other members, where Saudi Arabia's membership is still in the pendency stage. But again, they did not ask anything with respect to that. They just asked about the S in that. So obviously BRICS was formed in the year 2009 and the first meeting was held in Russia, and the following year in 2010 South Africa joined, right? And South Africa is also the place, like I mentioned, where you had the 15th BRICS summit, right? So next one, please. Now, the Big Cat Alliance. Now, this is an initiative which was taken by Prime Minister Modi and the then President of France, right, Holland, and they discuss about. Actually, Big Cat Alliance is about. I was talking about Solar Alliance, yes. In fact. So, Big Cat Alliance was initiative which was taken last year on account of 50th year of Project Tiger. So that topic is very important, and India is spearheading this, and so we are talking about the following cats in this. We are talking about lion, we are talking about tiger, we are talking about snow leopards, we are talking about cheetah, we are talking about jaguars, we are talking about puma, and we are talking about one more, leopard. Right? So 7 of them, out of which jaguars, puma you don't find in India, cheetahs we have got from Africa, so 5 of them. So answer for this would be Delhi, D, right?
It's actually quite disheartening to see all of these questions. We went ahead and spoke about the snow leopard survey and where do you find them maximum, and the national symbol of Kyrgyzstan, and God knows what all we've done with respect to the snow leopard, and this is what they
718 snow leopard in India. But again, a very basic question, so good for them who did not really prepare for GK. Which statement reflects a critique from the Western economy? So again, if you look at it, if you go through the passage, this question could have been solved. BRICS currency, now what would a critique do? A critique would discuss something against BRICS. If you look at the options, right, they all, I mean, option number A, B, and D talk about how bad BRICS is. I mean, that is why the answer would be D in this case, right? In fact, I expected them to ask better questions on BRICS. You know, they could have asked about the contingency reserve fund, right? They could have asked about the new members joining in.
New development
bank. New development bank. They could have spoken about the establishment of new development bank. Who is heading the new development bank? Where is the headquarters? Where is the headquarters of BRICS? But nothing like that. It was simply reading comprehension here. The emergence of BRICS signals. Now, what are we looking in terms of BRICS? Are we looking at the Asian consolidation of economic power? A. Let's look at diminishing European dominance. The third one is revival of non-aligned movement. Now, this is an option that should give you a clue that we are going to look for the best option here. So it is not diminishing European dominance, right? We are not talking about Asian consolidation, right? Because we are also talking about South Africa. So why will we talk about Asian consolidation? Why will we talk about Asian consolidation when BRICS is also a member of it, right? So therefore, the answer to this would be a geopolitics without US dominance. If you look at contingency reserve fund, why are we looking at that? Because that's a counter mechanism to IMF, right? Similarly, the new development bank is a counter to a World Bank, right? So we're looking at alternatives here. So the answer to that, I think that's vanished, is geopolitics. Next one, the emergence of BRICS signals. We have done this, 35th is done. The next one, which of the following is an outcome of the 16th BRICS meeting? Proposal to end the Russia-Ukraine war. Okay, let's move ahead. To expand BRICS by including Scandinavian. Why would we include Scandinavian countries? You know, if you're looking at Scandinavia, we're talking about Norway, Finland, Sweden. No, we are not talking about that. To recognize China's claim of Taiwan. No, it's not talking about that. Reducing tension between India. This is one of the important outcomes because the border disputes that we had, to a lot of extent, we have been solved it, and that's been in news for the last couple of months. Therefore, the answer to this will be Delhi. So anybody who's been reading about what's happening between India and China in terms of de-escalation of tensions, this is as a result of the BRICS meeting that has happened, right?
In fact, these questions are like very, very easier versions of what we did in the score booster session right at the end of the preparation. So, so this one is with respect to Jammu and Kashmir. Why is it relevant? It's absolutely relevant because the recently appointed Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir is the first one to take an oath, you know, on the Indian constitution instead of the Jammu and Kashmir constitution. In fact, ever since the special status of Jammu and Kashmir under Article 370 has been abrogated, this is the first time that the Legislative Assembly elections of Jammu and Kashmir has taken place. So this was a very, very obvious thing. Again, we went into the entire depth of the topic. What I'd like to talk about right now is I'm addressing all the students who are feeling really bad that they have done so much and they ended up, you know, Clat ended up asking them such easy questions. I don't think any kind of knowledge goes to waste. Let's see what AILET does. Hopefully, I mean, they will give a better paper in terms of general knowledge and current affairs, but this is what they have done. Right, so let's talk about this one. What is Article 370? I think everyone should know about it. Everyone would know about it. It's rather simple. This is basically the special status given to the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, the kids who got it incorrect and who were talking about, you know, whether Jammu and Kashmir is still a state or not, it's very clearly written that it was the erstwhile state. And I'm guessing you have not made that error. But if in case you have, it's very important to also read the question. And sometimes you get the answer right from the question, right? So the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act of 2019 divided the erstwhile, again it says erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir into which of the following So this has obviously 2 union territories, UT of Jammu and Kashmir, UT of Ladakh. I think this was also mentioned right here, UT of Ladakh and UT of Jammu and Kashmir. And I think in most of our passages, we also tried to put the answers right there in the passage, looking at the trend of last year. So the kids who were reading the passages, they would have gotten it correct. I think it's a very, very basic thing. You should have anyway gotten it correct, but yeah.
So the first one was RC again,
yes,
because it was mentioned right in the first passage.
Absolutely.
Para.
Absolutely. So which of the following UTs has a legislative assembly? If you have a little bit of an idea with respect to the legislative assembly elections of Jammu and Kashmir, you would know the answer. In fact, we've taken an entire special session on union territories and how certain union territories, namely Delhi, Puducherry and Jammu and Kashmir, have their own legislative assembly. We even in fact went on to talking about, you know, what are the matters that they can make laws on and what are the matters that they can't make laws on, but this is what they make out of it. So which of the following UTs has a legislative assembly? It's rather simple. This is Jammu and Kashmir. Again, a very, very easy question. How many states and UTs are present in India? 28 states and 8 union territories. I think this is one of the videos on the schedules of the constitution, which is available on the LMS. वैसे भी it is a very, very simple question, but in case you wouldn't have done it, you would have gotten from there. Which among the following is the capital city of the UT of Ladakh? I would have rather liked it if they would have asked about the new districts that were carved in Ladakh, but well, they have asked this beautiful question. The answer is Leh. I'm sure all of you know about it. Changthang, Dras, Nubra, Sham. These were certain districts that were carved out, but well, that was not really the question. Which of the following is false, they say? So Kargil was a former union territory. It never was. It was a part of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, and now it's a part of UT of Ladakh. Ladakh is administered by the J&K Assembly. Absolutely not. It is an entire union territory, and of course they are demanding for a statehood and all of that, but as of now it's a UT which is taken care of by the LG of Ladakh. 15 new districts were formed to be a part of J&K. I mean, of course, even if we know
wrong,
that,
A and B are
exactly.
wrong, so answer has to be Delhi in this.
Correct.
D.
Correct. So even if you did not know that C was incorrect, you would have anyway gotten to the right answer. Now, this particular thing was entirely RC. I'll tell you, I'll try to say a little positive things about Clat as well. I think this particular topic was basically asked because, and I've mentioned it before also, that our Union Finance Minister had spoken about 4 new castes: Garib, Andata, Yuva, Nari. I think Nari Shakti is the theme of this particular year, and basically that is why they've asked this question. Maybe they've also asked this question because the recent amendment of the constitution was the 106th constitutional amendment, and which is why they've asked this question. So they say the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam 2023, when will it come into force? Again, a session that was taken in one of our online special sessions, wherein we had spoken about the fact that after a census there has to be a delimitation, only and only then will it come into effect. And so hence the answer here should be none of the above, because this one talks about all states and UTs approving it. That makes no sense, right? Come into force from January 2025 makes no sense. Only census is not going to do it. It has to be after the census. There has to be a delimitation. They have to redraw all of the constituencies. After that it will come into effect, which will be way ahead, right? That depends upon when do they conduct the census next. Now this
44
one,
and 45 both were reading comprehension questions here.
Completely. So they have literally just like written down the answers.
They have written that, and you would know that the answer is D for this, 44D.
Correct.
And similarly, the next one is Soumya Bhavik is again, it's clearly mentioned in the passage here, fulfill the descriptive representation. Priyanka, how about using these GK passages for RC mocks?
Yeah, that would be really nice.
That would be really
think,
nice, yeah. I mean, they're just
these,
giving us some cues that how to use GK passages, for developing reading comprehension.
In fact, the reading comprehension is what the other mentors are saying was very, very easy.
Yeah.
The RC questions in GK were sort of tough.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I think they should say that there are no 5 sections. It's just quant and then reading comprehension. Basically, that is what they have asked this year. And this one over here, again, it is mentioned. So Article 330, Clause A and 332 is talking about women reservation.
So clearly mention the passage again.
Yes, absolutely. And so the answer is D, none of the above. Now this one over here is civil disobedience movement. I think over the years, for the past 2-3 years, they've been asking at least one passage from modern history. So if we talk about last year, it was Jallianwala Bagh massacre. And last year they were talking about parliament and the new parliament building and the old parliament building. So over here, I feel they've asked the civil disobedience movement because it's related to Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi was in news because, well, when Sonam Wangchuk went on a 21-day climate fast, he mentioned Mahatma Gandhi and he mentioned that he went on a 21-day climate fast during the Quit India movement. And again, something that you've done from the modern history classes on your LMS. And again, I would like to tell the future aspirants as well, take a cue from this and don't ever leave out modern history. I think that is one of the important ones because that is what they are asking. Having said that, this was entirely RC, right? So, which
even
event?
Last year they had a question on
Jallianwala Bagh.
Jallianwala Bagh.
Right.
So modern history is something that we have to do.
Yes, yes, sir. So, which event in Indian history marked the beginning of the civil disobedience movement? Obviously, it was the Dandi March. Right, and this is something which is very basic. Which of the following is true in context of the civil disobedience movement? Well, the Indian industrialists were concerned of the disruption of their business because obviously, well, they were in fact involved in it later, but initially they were a little weary about it because it would impact their business.
This is again mentioned in the passage here.
It is also mentioned in the passage, exactly. So, which of the following was the predicament of Congress?
Again mentioned in the passage.
Again, RC, absolutely RC. So this is lots of faith by marginalized sections in Congress.
Come back to the previous one, please.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can just tell them where it is marked.
I think there is a little bit of a line where they're talking about workers did not participate in the civil disobedience selectively. Some ideas like boycott of this. So you can derive it from here.
No, there is a clear mention. I'll just tell you where it is. Just move aside, Priyanka.
We're reluctant to... I know it is
the
there.
last line, the second passage, last line, if you see, it felt that this would alienate. The second passage, last line, this one, and the last line. It felt that this would alienate industrialists and divide the anti-imperial forces. So I think the answer to this should be A. Danger of division of opposition.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
The answer to this will be
danger
A
of
in
division
this.
of opposition
because it's
to
clearly
the government.
mentioned. If you look at the second passage, last line, that one is mentioned. Danger of division of opposition to the British government.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Thank you. Which of the following statement is correct with reference to the civil disobedience movement? It encouraged militancy amongst workers is incorrect. This is B. Bombay. Absolutely very, very simple because you know that it started off with the Dandi March. Which among the following mass movements were supported by the Indian industrialists? In fact, it is mentioned in the passage. So
the entire passage is about it.
The entire passage is about this civil disobedience movement. In fact, even last year when there was a passage on Chandrayaan 3, the question was which institution is related to Chandrayaan 3 and the answer was ISRO.
Wow, that's a difficult
one. I don't know why we don't think of that. We should make mocks on that line.
Kar do usko pura.
Yes. So, which of the following can be considered as a major outcome of the civil disobedience movement? So over here, partial support
all
of the
them.
working, all of the above is absolutely right. In fact, it is all mentioned over here. Even the female, so 1,000 of women came out, and we've already spoken about the workers.
Again, a reading comprehension thing. If you read the passage, you could have got this right. That's about it.
And that's about it. That was current affairs and general knowledge.
You've already told them as to what a good GK score would be like.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
23 to 24.
Out of 28 is what you should be looking at, because if you look at the breakup, about 16 questions were there where you needed the prior knowledge, and about 12 questions where it was absolutely mentioned. So it was purely reading comprehension there. So I think the decision on what a good versus a bad score is, that those 16 questions in which you have a little bit of prior knowledge would play a pivotal role in how good you score in the GK section. So what I feel is that the normal curve here, max Janta would be somewhere in the range of 16 to 17 in GK
Absolutely.
if they have done the comprehension part well. But what is going to make the difference is those 5 or 6 questions here. So GK can make a difference of about 6 to 7 in this Clat paper with those 16 questions. But I wish that Clat, authorities, would have made better passages. There were better events. 90th, I don't want to tell them as to what kind of questions
Judiciary.
they could have. 75 years of Supreme Court, the 75
NATO.
years of NATO, 90 years of
Warsaw
RBI,
Pact,
Warsaw
CSTO.
Pact. There were so many things that were around, and but unfortunately, the kind of paper that they made for GK was, in one word, I would describe it as terrible. It was more of a reading comprehension section. You can't have RC if you're putting a GK section. A GK section has to be a GK section, right? So that students who have really prepared hard for almost a year, 2 years, right? And putting in the effort, understanding the concept really well, and such lame questions, that doesn't really do justice according to me, right? And it doesn't do justice to teachers like us who are putting in our sweat, giving in our best inside the classroom, and guiding them. So I wish they make better paper, and I have huge expectations from ALIT. Last year also, ALIT did not disappoint us. In fact, last year also, the paper, ALIT has been making excellent papers. So I still feel that ALIT keeps us employed.
Yeah, it does.
By calling it a GK section, right?
I think let's wait till Sunday.
All right. Okay, guys, thank you very much. And I wish that, both of us wish that you guys ace the GK section and the Clat paper. Yes. And all the best to CPNs. We look forward to you guys cracking the examination. All right?
All the best, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.